Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to learn about how people take part in their environment. We are going to see some examples in our story, The Rain Came Down, that shows us how people rely on their physical environment and on natural resources to provide for their needs. We are also going to see how the characters act when these events and challenges happen in the story. I want you to follow along with your follow along sheet as we go through this lesson. But first, let's define what is a physical environment, okay? So I'm going to share my screen with you. And as we read this definition, I want you to read it. As I read the definition, I want you to read it out loud as well. So, and on your follow along sheet, you're going to write the definition and then write 2 examples that I show you of a physical environment. Okay? So, here we go. Physical environment is the environment that has items people can use. Okay? Now I'm going to show you some examples of a physical environment. Okay. So some physical environment examples could be land, our roads. We use roads to get where we need to go. We use our land to build our homes on. Our workplaces is a physical environment where your parents work. Your school is a physical environment. It's your surroundings, you use them, and our home is our physical environment. So these are just a few examples. Now, so on your sheet, make sure you have defined physical environment definition. I can show you that again. And I want you to list 2 of the examples that we just went over. There's a definition again if you need it. Now, what is a natural resource? Now let's define a natural resource. So again, you're going to write the definition and 2 examples. Another physical environment is the weather is a physical environment, and the grocery store. So our climate affects our environment, so that's part of your environment. So a natural resource, here we go. Natural resources, say it with me, is found in nature and is used to help people live. So go ahead and write that definition on your follow along sheet, and then we're going to go over the examples of a natural resource. And you'll list 2 examples from our examples. Okay, now I'm going to show you our examples. A natural resource could be your food, like oranges, apples, carrots, your fruits and vegetables. Sunlight is a natural resource. We use sunlight for vitamin D. Our water, and to warm things. Our water is a natural resource. We need water to survive. Animals are a natural resource. They provide us with food. And wood and timber is what's used to build our houses. So that's a natural resource. So we use all of these to survive. And another example of a natural resource is air, the air you breathe, your oxygen, plants. Without air, food, and water, we cannot survive in this world. So we need all of those things. So that's our natural resources. This is what people use to live. Okay? All right, now I want you to listen to our story. It is called The Rain Came Down by David Shannon. As you listen, I want you to look for the examples we talked about and with natural resources and our physical environment. See if you can see any of these things used in this story. And I want you to look at how people interact with their environment. And I want you to see how the characters react to the events that take place in this story. So here we go. Listen carefully.
The Rain Came Down by David Shannon. On Saturday morning, the rain came down. It made the chickens squawk. The cat yowled at the chickens, and the dog barked at the cat, and still the rain came down. The man yelled at the dog and woke up the baby. "Stop all that yelling!" shouted the man's wife. The dog barked louder, and still the rain came down. A policeman heard the noise and stopped to see what was wrong. His car was blocking traffic, and half a block away, a woman squirmed in the back of a taxi. "Hurry up or I'll miss my plane," she told the taxi driver, so he started honking his horn. The truck driver in front of him got mad and started honking back. "I have tomatoes to deliver," he shouted. The ice cream man heard the honking and turned up the music on his van. Jingle jingle went his music, slappity slap went his windshield wipers, and still the rain came down. The owner of the beauty parlor came out to see what all the fuss was about. She bumped into the barber coming out of his barber shop, and they began to argue. Up on his ladder, the painter grumbled, "I can't paint in the rain." He started to climb down and bonked the barber in the head with his can of paint. Now all three of them were arguing. Next, the baker stepped out of his bakery. "My roof is leaking and my cakes are getting wet," he moaned. He opened his umbrella and poked the pizza man in the nose. So they joined in the bickering too. A boy ran by, chasing a small boat down the stream in the gutter. He splashed a little girl, and she began to cry. And still the rain came down. The grocery man stomped out onto the sidewalk and yelled, "Where is that delivery truck? I need my tomatoes." He ran into a lady coming out of the clothing store and knocked her boxes into his fruit stand. Oranges, apples, and lemons bounced down the sidewalk, and still the rain came down. The policeman walked back to his car. "What is all this ruckus about?" he asked. The whole block was honking, yelling, bickering, and barking. And then the rain stopped, and so did the noise. The sun came out, and the air smelled fresh and sweet. Everything shimmered, and a rainbow stretched across the rooftops. "It's much too nice a day to be arguing," said the baker. "I have cakes to bake, and I have pizzas to make," said the pizza man. "I could use a shave while my building dries," said the painter to the barber. Then they went inside. The policeman said, "Everything looks A-OK here to me," and he drove off in his car. The woman in the taxi decided she had time to have her hair done before her trip, and she went into the beauty parlor. So the lady with the boxes got into the taxi and went home. The truck driver told the grocer, "I have your tomatoes." "Wonderful," said the grocer, "but first I have to pick up this fruit." The little girl and boy helped him, so he bought them ice cream cones, and the ice cream man gave them each an extra scoop because it was such a nice day. Then the man, his wife, and their baby had a picnic together in the backyard while the dog, the cat, and the chickens slept in the warm afternoon sun.
So, I hope you enjoyed the book. And we see that they used the roads to travel places. There was traffic, so that caused them to be mad. Some of the characters didn't like that. We saw that the rain caused some problems in their environment. For example, when the baker's roof was leaking, it may cause his cakes to be wet. And cakes are not good wet, right? So that was a little bit of an issue. So he was a little mad. So although rain causes problems, sometimes we still need rain to help us have our plants. Our plants need the rain to survive. That's what they use to drink and to grow your plants. We need water we need the rain so that we have water and animals have water. So rain is very important, even though sometimes it causes issues. And it was interesting to see how people reacted to the environment, right? So some got mad and then they got happy. So we see the people use the roads, they use their cars, they were receiving the food from the farmers to put in the grocery stores. That's how we get our food. We saw the people going to different jobs to get a particular need, like the lady from the taxi went to the hairdresser to get her hair cut, and the painter went to get a shave from the barber. So you go to different people with different jobs to provide for your needs. Just like if you're sick, you go to the doctor. We will do more activities with physical environment and natural resources tomorrow. I want you to list any questions you have on your paper. And I want you to circle how you feel about this lesson, the smiley face, the not so sure face, or the need more practice face. I want you to write your one favorite fruit or vegetable. Just pick one, either one fruit or one vegetable. That's your favorite on the bottom of your paper. Okay? Thank you for watching our lesson, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye!